going on, everybody? Minimalist Outdoors here, just getting a update on my property here. So as you guys know, we're in the earlier parts of April, and so there's all types of different types of plants that just occur here naturally without me doing anything. And one of the ones that I've done a little bit of research on is the Lactuca virosa, which is this plant right here. It's that one that everybody associates as the opium lettuce or wild lettuce, a lot of people say. This one I've noticed on my property, this is the only plant out here that is the actual Lactuca virosa. God, I can't say it right. What I found on my property is a lot of lookalikes, but this is the actual plant, and you could tell because it's got these barbs here, the little fins. Really hard to see here. I gotta let my camera focus. There they are, right there. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of lookalikes. In fact, just over here, looks almost exactly the same. The leaves look the same, and absolutely everything has the texture on the outside, but it doesn't have the barbs on the reverse side. That's right here. So this one right here is the actual pain-killing herb, wild lettuce, or what a lot of people call is opium lettuce. And another way you can tell is how much fluid actually comes from out of the stem when you break it. I don't want to get rid of all the good juices, but you guys catch my drift here. Crack this, and then it just pours out. You can see that, hopefully. Anyway, that white stuff is what the pain-killing properties is, the white stuff. Anyway, so I gave a little update like that for all the foraging people who are into survival stuff like that. So this is the opium lettuce here, and this is a carrot that I grew from my garden. Tastes really good. Anyway, like I said in my previous video, I'd give you guys an update on what my Henry looks like. Here I am out here shouldering my new Henry lever action. Look at that. So I couldn't resist the urge. I got rid of the light from the bottom rail. Instead I went to go pick up an order at Fleet Farm, and I saw M-Lock rails in one of their display aisles. I went ahead and I just installed a new M-Lock just because I could. Anyway, getting a new rifle, you can't help but do either necessary or unnecessary upgrades. I don't intend on putting any optic rails on here. I just want the fiber optic sights on here. I just want to get those dialed in and just keep this thing as simple as possible. With an optic, you just become more prone to snags and everything in the woods, and kind of just want to keep this a big bore brush defeater and as streamlined as possible without getting it stuck on anything. But here's that nice sling that I took off one of my other rifles. It's padded. Absolutely love this thing. But yeah, that light's definitely gonna stay on there. I think this would be a decent home defense and property defense carbine. And if you're not like me and you actually live in the city, I live out here in the middle of nowhere in the country. Nothing for miles. I think this would be a decent rifle if you needed to, I don't know, help your neighbor with a home intruder who's hiding behind the refrigerator. Shoot through your wall, through the neighbor's wall, through the refrigerator, and hit the perpetrator. That's what 4570's for. That and, you know, killing really large, dangerous game. Anyway, this thing's sweet. I love it. Yeah. Resling that here. This thing's awesome. Anyway, so I'd say that. Share with you guys that my carrots are growing pretty well. Any of you who are growing carrots and everything, let me know how yours are growing and how much you spaced each seed out and each plant out. My wife and I, we did a little bit of thinning on the row of carrots, but not too much, yet they're still, you know, pretty large. They're like, I'd say probably about 8 inches long on average, and you know, they're pretty thick. So decent sized carrot. And yeah, so far everything's grown really well. Tomatoes are starting to turn. Absolutely loving that aspect. It's been a good year for growing stuff. Had me worried before because we were experiencing a drought here in northwestern Wisconsin for the longest time. I think a whole month and a half went by before we got any rain, and then things just shot up. So that's always great. Anyway, thank you for returning back to my channel. It's great having you guys come back. I plan on doing more content with shooting and hunting and stuff like that as soon as the seasons roll around.